recent years, there has been a primary focus on nutrition and a great move towards more healthy eating. While modern advancements in genetically modified foods have sparked debate encompassing its health benefits and environmental impact in the first world, the specific needs of farmers and consumers in developing countries are widely ignored. Genetic modification refers to the process in which an organism's genome is altered in some way to create new and/or hybrid versions of an animal and plant species. Genetic modification, or GM for short, is significant, and in countries that have high malnutrition rates, genetically modified products can help effectively provide certain vitamins and minerals to the population. However, GM products may also present certain repercussions, such as causing harm to the organisms, and even the people these products are tested on. There are many different types of GM products, and each have their own distinct uses. From use in pharmaceuticals to food found on supermarket shelves, some GM products can harm us, while others exist only to serve the greater good. For example, BT cotton is a crop grown in many developing countries, such as India, Argentina, Sudan, and Paraguay. BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis, a bacterium which possesses a gene that has been introduced into cotton crops and cotton plants, which can produce a toxin that can enhance resistance to insects. Hence why many agricultural experts consider it to be the best natural microbial insecticide, especially when utilized in GM crops.
With the gene that increases resistance to insects, BT cotton has benefited both farmers and the environment in developing world, as there is less need for the use of pesticides. Accordingly, less money is needed to be spent on the maintenance of the crop. India, being the largest global producer of cotton, has benefited well from this GM crop. According to a study from 2002 to 2008, BT cotton has increased cotton crop yield by 24% per acre and increased the profit of small farms by 50%.
On the contrary, there is a high risk of GM organisms crossing with non-GM organisms, which may present a larger and considerably more serious issue. For example, if golden rice is planted next to or near a normal rice with an untouched genome, golden rice seeds could get blown by the wind and grow in areas where non-GM rice is planted. And a consumer who might happen to be allergic to the proteins non-GM rice does not usually produce may fall sick as they are unaware of what they are truly consuming. There is controversy encompassing the alteration of an organism's genes, and it raises the question of whether the organism is still the same or not, especially in terms of its nutritional value and whether it is still safe for consumption. Though, recent breakthroughs in agriculture and technology have paved the way for products that offer a higher nutritional value and, in some cases, greater crop yields and product quantities. This is such a crucial factor in many developing countries across the globe, where a higher crop yield and greater product quantities can cater for their larger populations, whilst also contributing to society and the nation's economy through the growth of the agriculture sector, which in turn opens the doors to new job opportunities. While GM foods are produced commercially in the Western world, access and production to these products is limited in the developing world, where they seem to be needed the most. Thus, we encounter two ethical considerations. In the first situation, we are presented with the reality that malnourishment rates are extremely high in developing countries, and due to the large populations these countries house, famine is common considering the lack of advancements in agriculture. Therefore, with the release of more nutritiously beneficial products through genetic modification in the Western world, should developing countries be granted access to these products sooner, but for a heftier cost? Say an upcoming, revolutionary type of avocado is in the making, and scientists are striving to grow this new variety of avocado, which does not brown as quickly, is higher in antioxidants, and can be a new source of protein. In some developing countries, consumers are in dire need of the benefits this new avocado offers, and the company that has created this variety of avocado is willing to sell its seeds immediately and for rock-bottom prices. In the second situation, we encounter the testing and trialing of new GM foods, in which consumers are at risk of testing GM foods themselves, becoming these oblivious lab rats. Every day, millions of people consume GM foods without their knowledge. Consumers have no way of knowing what foods are genetically modified, as many countries and agencies, like the US FDA, do not have policies that denote or require the mandatory labeling of these GM products. Even then, developing countries are unlikely to have established food and safety agencies themselves. And on a worse note, many developing countries do not require any pre-market safety testing of GM foods. The second situation raises whether it is ethically acceptable to allow the distribution of GM foods for inexpensive economic costs, but ruinous health and social costs.
There are many health benefits with GM foods, as there are issues. One of the major benefits from GMOs is that the products and foods created can have higher nutritional values and longer shelf lives.
Golden rice is an example of this, as it contains a gene that allows it to produce an ample supply of beta-carotene, a key source of vitamin A, giving the crop its yellow or golden hue. Vitamin A is essential for eyesight, for the function of major organs, and for reproduction. And in many developing countries like India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, vitamin A deficiency is commonplace, to which then GM foods, such as golden rice, could assist the population. On the production side of things, GM products can safeguard and protect producers and farmers from exposure to pesticides and chemicals utilized in the production of non-GM products.
This can be beneficial to both the environment and people. Less pesticides mean that native flora and fauna will not be put in a vulnerable position due to exposure to toxic chemicals, and additionally, society is at lower risk of the chronic effects linked to long-term exposure to pesticides and chemicals, such as certain cancers, as they will not be handling or inadvertently consuming pesticides
There
as
are a
frequently.
couple questions which we cannot get a confirmed answer for. The first question is that if genetic modification continues to develop and become safer, will people still consume farmed products, even if they know that what we are eating is not natural? The second question is that why do some countries disdain the need for labeling GM foods? And if labeling was mandated on an international scale, would it alter consumers' perception of specialty foods that may be comprised of GM ingredients? The third question is that will GM products be of vital importance as the world population grows, even if long-term studies prove that they may pose serious risks to the health of society?
The world consumes almost 5 million kilograms of food every day, and a United Nations study estimates that we will need 70% more by 2050. Developing nations could theoretically clear out land and denude forests to make way for pastures, fields, and the use of more pesticides. However, they could also utilize the land we have now with more efficient and effective methods like genetically modified crops, which have the potential to drastically change their agriculture methods. Though, the failure of countries and moral negligence of companies to mandate testing or labeling of GM foods have ultimately dehumanized millions of consumers into test subjects, unknowingly testing the safety of dozens of gene-altered food products, and unaware of the potential risks they pose. However, with great risk comes great reward, and it is only a matter of time until GM products, and GM foods especially, are engineered in a way that is safe for all, regardless of whether one is located in the Western world or the developing one.